Now the next thing we need to do will be to go ahead and design the registration page. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. So I'm going to pull up our Android Studio. Alright, so I'm going to go into our screens. I'm going to create a new .dat file. So I'm going to call this .dat file registration page. Alright, so here I'm going to go ahead and import material.dat, which is usually the first thing that we do. Now the next thing we need to do will be to create a stateless widget. We're going to call it registration page. So while building an app, time is always of essence. I think that's why Flocktar was even designed in the first place, to save us a lot of time. So to save ourselves some time, we can easily go into the login page and copy most of the elements that we use here for the design. So I can simply just go ahead and copy the entire scaffold, and I can go ahead and paste it inside of our registration page. Bam. Okay, so all we need to do now is to resolve the colors. I can have brand colors or green. So what we need to do here will be to go ahead and modify our page to be our registration page. So instead of having sign in as a rider, we're gonna have create a rider's account. The next thing we need to do will be to add a new text field for full name. So I can simply go ahead and copy this as well and paste this here, and also go ahead and add a size box with a height of 10. Okay, so instead of having email address here, I can have full name. So the input type will be test. Alright, so after the email address, the next thing we need to add was supposed to be the phone number. So I can just go ahead and copy all of this and paste this here and change this to phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and edit the properties of the text field. So instead of the label to read email address, it's going to read phone number, and the input type is going to be phone. Okay, so let's go ahead and see how this looks on our simulator. So to be able to do that, I need to go ahead and change our startup screen to registration page. So I'm going to change this to registration page. So we can now go ahead and test our registration page on our simulator. Alright, so we have our registration page, but there is still a couple of things we need to change. Like the button is supposed to read register. So we're going to go ahead and change that. So this is supposed to be register. So I'm going to go ahead and hot reload. Alright, and also we need to change the text that we have in this test widget. So what we want to have there is already have a rider's account login. So I'm going to change the write-up in this particular test widget. So I'm going to write already have a rider's account login. That actually makes more sense. So our registration page is ready to go. So I think this really looks beautiful, right? So in the next lesson, we're going to go ahead and set up our route so that we'll be able to move from registration page to login page, and from login page to registration page, and to any other page that we want to navigate to within our application. So this will be all for now. See you in the next lesson.